through the prayers of our Holy Fathers, Lord Jesus Christ, our God of mercy, us and save us. Amen. Good evening. For those new here, my name is Father Joseph Swaden. I've worked in Orthodox apologetics since 1998 and I'm the founder of NFTU, True Orthodox and Ecumenical News, since 2004. We've been in the apologetic space since on Facebook since 2016 and on YouTube since 2018. And if you appreciate what we do here, please like and subscribe. Okay, so today, for those who have not seen the latest videos that we've put up, um, I'm just going to go through it. We have been talking for a bit about the Holy Resurrection Church in Wilkes-Barre that was founded in 1900 by St. Alexis Toth. The church was demolished on Monday. We managed to see it, and it was pretty gruesome to see this what was a beautiful church 3 weeks before suddenly a hunk of wow. Just I could just put it on the screen. Give me just a second. Not looking forward to this, but just have to go to our own channel because we let's see here. Well, there was a news story about it, so we can put that on actually also. Let's do that first. Give me just a second. Hold on. So I'll just put on the news, and this is no. This is WBRE WYOU. Give me a second to full screen it. Okay, let's escape. Put up share.
We have an update to a story that we first told you about last week concerning the Holy Resurrection Orthodox Cathedral on North Main Street in Wilkes-Barre. We stopped by today and the church has been demolished. Last week, we introduced you to Dimitri Patitsis, a Luzerne County restaurant owner who was trying to save the landmark church. He was going to restore it and use it for a church-based organization. We reached out to him about the demolition, but have not yet heard back.
I do remember when I was there that Dimitri did make it. So, in fact, I think they interviewed him, so that might be another story that's coming up. But as you can see, it was gone. We filmed some of it ourselves, and some notable images happened that we were, some notable photos. Let me just see here. There was the how do I put this? It was a no, that's my car. Sorry. Sorry about that. Let me okay, kill that. Let me see here. One of the images that went really well, really hard for a lot of people was one of the cross that had been standing. It kind of like got shoved when all the wreckage happened. Let me see here. If I can find it. Okay, so what is this one? Okay, so WebP pictures can't be shown. But let me see if I can just pull it up from X. Give me a sec. Or actually, I do have it here in my own. I can go to my own Gab. Okay, my Gab. 1 second, and I'll just pull it from there. So yeah, that this image it would be. Let me see if I can full size it. Okay, so one of the images that was particularly kind of shocking, I guess, um, was jarring, I would say. Save. Okay. It was this church, image of the demolished church. Let me see if I can get it now. Pictures, screenshot, yeah. So it was apparently like when it was all demolished, somehow this cross managed to stand. And so we tried on that on Monday to try to get it out, but it was stuck. But I guess they had done further demolition work. Not demolition, so much like as cleanup work that had gone on. And so I received a call. I actually received a call from this enterprising young man here. Give me a moment. This is Ezekiel. He is a parishioner, I believe, of Father Markton Place Parish of Roac in Louisiana. And he happened to be visiting for something up north. And so he had heard about this, and basically he called me and he asked if he said he had found the cornerstone, and hold on one second. He said he had found the cornerstone if I could help him move it. And I was like, move a cornerstone. I'm not a strong person. And so Father Boniface is here. Welcome.
Benedicite.
Benedicite. So he asked if I could help him out. So I wasn't far. I was actually going to get something for the groceries, and so I just turned around and I was like, all right, I'll just go over. Well, it turns out that cornerstone was made of marble, and it was really, really heavy. Like, he managed to pull some of it. Strong guy, but I could see the veins pop out of his head, and I was like, okay, hold on, let me try to lift it. And I give it as firm an effort as a 50-year-old man is going to give it. And I was like, yep, not moving. That thing stays. It's from 1972 anyway. But what was amazing was that cross that had been standing on Sunday or on Monday, and all the wreckage had been moved, and it was near a bush just sitting there. So I was like, take this cross instead. And so, that's what he did. And so, many years to him. The cross will find a good home, I'm sure. And so, thanks be to God, that was accomplished. By the way, if you note, there is didn't quite set up a goal for today, and I also have to do emergency babysitting, which means that unfortunately, there is no way to up my time today. So unfortunately, I'm gonna hard limit it to 10:30 because I have to go because I have grandchildren downstairs I have to help take care of. And I wasn't expecting that. That literally occurred about 20 minutes before the show. Yes. So how are you doing today, Father?
Good. I busy day, getting the house
I didn't even.
prepared and
Oh, go ahead.
getting the house prepared, doing all kinds of work. I'm just very, very busy.
Yeah. Well, glory to God that you're getting stuff done. As you can guess, it was a really big, really kind of weird day that has been going on and is still going on. I know you had some
Yeah,
stuff to say about what happened with the church. I did forget to
yeah.
actually read everyone's opening comments, so I will do that. Hill says no, searching for opponents today. The building they didn't want anyone to see, so 5 minutes. Yeah.
Excuse me.
Well, we're here now. I don't know why it says that you're here at 4:01 a.m. So I guess you're still in like another country or something. Anyone can call in live. It is a live Q&A show. Embrace Jesus and Orthodox says hello, greetings. God bless you. Father Antonios, good evening. Good evening. Elogite. Dan says we're back. Father Antonios, my dad is close to Little Fitzwig Mountain says to Father Antonios, my dad's close to your parish right now. Okay, in Texas. This news is so sad. I hope Father Antonio said, I hope you enjoyed the launch. Okay, that's the guys are talking about the chat. That's fine. About Texas things, and that's good. That's part of the fun we have here is having the chat. OC equals officially compromised apostasy. You know what? That one's free. You get that one just because it was a great comment. All right, we'll do. Can always press with the OG. No, you can't, and it's not worth it. It's this is shameful. All right, so Father Boniface, you had some
Yes.
comments about what happened.
Yeah. I wanted to give you my assessment of what this is all about. I call it just modern day Phariseeism,
Yeah.
and I'll explain that. Is that if in the New Testament, when Christ performed, let's say, healings, the Pharisees were offended. When a man is blind or deaf and he heals on the Sabbath day, the Pharisees were offended. And so the point is that their attitude was you do it either our way or the highway. And if anyone does it different, they're rejected. And Christ comes to show them up for their hypocrisy and their sins, and that they had created a law of rules and regulations that was totally made of men and not of God. And they were offended by God's intervention overriding their system. And that's what Christ did. He overrode their system, and because he straightened it out and he called for mercy and not sacrifice, remember, and that if an ox falls in a ditch on the Sabbath day, wouldn't the owner, go help it? Of course he would. And so, are people more than oxen? Yes, they are. And so, when and you can add your comments on this, but they refuse to allow the church to be sold to anyone with any kind of greater virtue than their own. And they were a failure, and so therefore, and resentfully, they would rather have it die than live. They would rather have it go die than go into hands of faithful people. And that's like the Pharisees. They'd rather have the man born blind stay blind. They'd rather have the sick stay sick than go into the hands of Christ and be healed. And so, in spite and in their Pharisaical shame and anger, they'd rather have the church die and be destroyed than to be given over into the hands of faithful people. And so, really, they've labeled themselves as pure Pharisees. They're owning the identity of what the Pharisees were at Christ's time. And so it's really coming out that is exactly their disposition. And so people want to stay in those groups. Do you realize the spirit that they are? It's a killing spirit. The letter kills, but the spirit gives life. And this is clearly a verse that's applicable here. The letter kills, and it killed the church. It destroyed the church. And look at all the beauty. But you know what? God's people shouldn't be saddened by it. They should realize that's the way the Pharisees behave, but that we are of the Spirit of God. We have the Spirit, and therefore we are alive, and they're dead. So come out from that stuff, come out from among them, touch not the unclean thing, and embrace true orthodoxy where Christ is it's organic. In other words, it's a living body. It's alive. And
I'd
so,
like, I definitely would like to touch. Oh, you had something.
no, go ahead.
No, first off, I noticed that Hill on X actually is writing right now, but it's not appearing in the timeline the way it's supposed to. So like it's appearing up on top as though I read it already. He said, legitimately, my professional opinion is that there were issues with the church that they didn't want any to see. Well, I just like the OCA. This doesn't seem to be like the actual issue. Actually, no. That is the actual issue because there was actually someone willing to buy it. Actually, I just got a note about that. Give me a second because there's a new article in the National Herald, I guess, that came out today. Yeah, earlier today. So let me just put that up. Because that is this is kind of it's like this is happening up to the minute. Lame. How do I call in? If there should be do you see a link? Let me share. The link is in YouTube. Let me see if I can copy it again. Give me a second because I need to, let me close this. Let me see. Hold on. Okay, it's like I don't have it because I have to recopy it. So give me a second. Because there's no way to pin comments in X yet. So I did put it in. It was the first comment, but if you didn't see it, I'm gonna have to just keep sending it. Sure. So you can call in. Feel free. Anyone can. This is what it's for. So let's see here. And so yeah, I put that in. Let me see what other comments we have because now I have to go back to the YouTube comments, which are operating on the timeline properly. Okay. I'm trying to contact them about it. Their contacts seem to be in hiding. I literally just put it in the chat. It's in the chat. Hill. That's what we have. Like, do you see it? Like it should be right there, like in the X chat. Okay. Let me. Yeah, I just did. Okay. So let's see. Can you see it now? I mean, I'm just gonna say Jonathan because I know your name's Jonathan Hill, and I feel it's rude to just call you Hill. Can you see? Okay. It should be in this chat box. Like I put it in 3 times. It should be from a link to StreamYard. Let's see. Saint Nectarius of Egina is one of the greatest saints. When he was persecuted, he denied ecumenism in the new calendar. Yes, but then I'm in Australia, so maybe the context only works in America. Lord have mercy. I wonder if Saint Alexis revolved in high torque in his grave nearby in South Canaan. Let's see here. So yeah, anyone can call in live. Just click the link in the chat. In the YouTube chat, it is in the top of the chat. In the X chat, it appears to just be is like regular chat. So I don't know what's happening. Give me a moment. Let's see here. Yeah, I didn't have a time to get anything set up. Monster Reader, good evening. Good evening, God bless you. It's really ridiculous for a city to allow that. Besides it being ridiculous religious, you don't tear down structures like that unless absolutely necessary. Yeah, unfortunately, the attitude that they seem to take was it's our property. We can do what we want. Jonathan, have you found the link? If not, I mean, I'm trying to. Let me just send it to you. I'll send it to you directly. Give me a second. Okay. All right. Check your DMs, Jonathan, if you want to pop on. Let's see here. And so, yeah, it's right. If it's going to be demolished when a seller is willing to buy, you think the authorities would find a way to acquire it for sale instead of spending money destroying it? Yeah, you would think, but unfortunately, yeah, it was a private property. Let me get to this article because this is just popped in. Like I got this literally just a few minutes ago. And so let me put that in. It says Greek American businessman denounces demolition of Orthodox Church, tried to save it by offering $200,000. This is true. We've covered this. Dimitri Petitsis there. Greek American businessman Dimitri Petitsis expressed his deep disappointment to the National Herald regarding the demolition of the historic Holy Resurrection Orthodox Cathedral in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, despite the campaign he led to prevent this outcome. Specifically, the Orthodox Cathedral, which belonged to the OCA, was founded in 1892 by St. Alexis Toth and is considered a monument of significant historical and spiritual value, as it served as the center from which thousands of faithful joined the Orthodox Church in the late 19th century. According to Mr. Petitsis, the Resurrection Parish decided in 2024 to close, citing a decline in parishioners and a high repair costs. The Diocese of Eastern Pennsylvania approved the sale of the church and rectory for $300,000. Petitsis submitted a $200,000 purchase offer with intent of housing the St. Paul Fellowship of Labor organization there, but received no response. Shortly afterward, he learned that a demolition plan had been issued. I reached out to the priest and offered to buy the church for $200,000 to keep it active as a spiritual center and headquarters for organization. Yet, despite repeated efforts, we never received an official response. There's Dimitri again. Instead, he noted the Diocese of Eastern Pennsylvania quietly proceeded with demolition despite interventions from Mayor George Brown, City Councilor Tony Brooks, and state officials who requested the permit be halted. I watched it with my own eyes as the church was leveled. It was a shocking moment. People who had been baptized, prayed there for generations, saw their place disappear. The Greek American restaurateur, son of an Orthodox priest, described the OCA administration's decision as unjustifiable and unfair. The technical reports we conducted showed the building was completely safe, needing only routine maintenance. It was not a ruin. It could have been saved with a little will, Mr. Benitez emphasized. He concluded by stressing that he does not intend to abandon his efforts to preserve Orthodox monuments in the U.S., highlighting that the fate of the Resurrection Cathedral in Pennsylvania should alarm Orthodox communities nationwide. What happened in Wilkes-Barre should wake us all up. Our faith and history are not just stones and domes. They are the soul of Orthodoxy in America, he noted. So this was this was put out today. So this was the most recent article on this. So we're going to close that. And yeah. Oh, Jonathan. Okay, I just see in the dark. Welcome, Jonathan Hill.
Yeah, sorry, I'm outside walking. It's just easier to explain through voice, right? Let me turn off the YouTube.
Yeah, you know,
Okay,
I mean,
so yeah. So probably what no one really knows is I am a commercial real estate agent. I also am a developer. I build buildings for a living.
welcome, Reader John.
So the $300,000 price tag for that church does not make any sense. That's a price tag.
No, and it does, based on current real estate values, et cetera, is low. It is extremely low. But it's not like inconceivable. In this area.
So how big was the building?
It was pretty big. It was
a cathedral.
Yeah, it was a cathedral-sized church, and it also had a full-size house attached to it, diocesan house, and with a restaurant-style kitchen. If they weren't rushing to sell it, they could have sold it for $500,000 easily.
Yeah. So again, the point that I'm making, or the theory that I have professionally, this is not like me trying to. Obviously, I don't like the OCA, right? But the professional theory that I have is that there was something with the building or with the property that they did not want anyone to find out. That's really the only thing that makes sense.
Well, no, I mean the timeline of events makes sense. I was talking to a parishioner there who had apparently it was explained that they had got the building and even the parish had become sort of a kind of I guess an eyesore, so they moved to consolidate those parishioners into the parish over by the casino, Holy Trinity. But as for wanting to get rid of the building, at first, what happened was they said that apparently this is what we discovered when they were talking, apparently, because this was kept internal, and it was only until a few, probably 5 months or so before what happened, they were saying they were going to sell it to a Protestant church, and that the Protestant church wanted to demolish it. So this way the blame would be shifted to the Protestant church. Well, of course, what are they going to do with an Orthodox cathedral with a giant Pantocrator icon, so on and so forth? So then, apparently, the Protestants offered $150,000. This is what's left out of the article, which is why we know more about it. They countered. The OCA Synod countered for $200,000. And all of a sudden, that was when Dimitri Petitsas, the man that we were referring to earlier, and who was spearheading the effort to buy the church, actually countered with the $200,000. So it wasn't like he was lowballing; they had already lowered their standard, and he met it, and then they just stopped talking.
But there's a key point to this, which was the Protestants were still going to demolish the building.
Right. I think that was their goal to begin with.
Yes, they
wanted a scapegoat, but then the Protestants backed out.
But that's what I'm trying to say, right? So there was something. I'm just telling you, $300,000 for a building that size is just, there's something wrong with the building, and they wanted to demolish.
That's what I'm trying to tell you, Jonathan. When Dimitri came in, he actually had a professional inspector come with him. So the inspector was checking the mold issues, because they blamed it all on black mold. They said a black mold just destroyed the building. But when the inspector reviewed it, he's like, "This is absolutely fixable. It'll cost some money," but and Dimitri was all for it. But then it seemed they didn't respond. Next thing you know, they had taken out the windows. That was about 2 weeks ago, and that made no sense to just take out the windows and all that iconography that's in there. It's like you're aiming for it to rot. And then we got word the late night before the demolition that it was going to happen on Monday, which made no sense because in America this is Columbus Day. I get the impression you're in another country right now.
No, I'm in the United States.
Oh, then I don't. Okay, then I don't understand why it says it's 4 a.m.
I don't.
Where you are.
I have no idea.
It could just be StreamYard or X or whatever.
But so all the signs point to they wanted it to be demolished.
Yes.
Right. So there was something with the building they didn't want people to see. That's my point. Right. There's another thing going on here. Not that they're like some weirdos that just didn't want the church to go to old calendaris or something.
That's what I think. That's what I think it was. I think it was we were the last people they would ever sell it to. I mean, we know they're willing to sell to Hindus, to Muslims, etc. We've seen them do that, but not us. And and Dimitri's in the GOC, which is the most, the largest of the True Orthodox.
He has a contrary opinion, Father. That's what he's trying to say.
Yeah, I'm trying to tell you that's not what they were doing. They just wanted the building to be destroyed, and they were going to sell it to anyone who would destroy the building. That was their number one goal, right?
Yeah, I know. They paid for the demolition.
Yeah, because
right.
Because if it was about money, that counter offer of $200,000 would have satiated them, or at least got them going further in the deal.
Right. It was not about money. It wasn't about not selling it to you. It was about demolishing the building because there was something wrong with the building. That's all I'm saying.
There's in the book of Acts, there's a rabbi who accused, who was the other rabbis ended up beating him up because he was at fault. Do you remember the chapter? I think it's in Acts. I have to, but the point is this: is that the Jews were upset that they were defeated in their argument, and they took out their wrath on the rabbi who was leading the argument, which had failed. And so the point is that Pharisees get angry that they've lost a battle, and so they take it out on something. So they in this case, they took it out on the church because the church had failed, which was a representative slice of the failure of world orthodoxy, which has no life in it. And it's an institution, it's not an organism. And so therefore it failed, it went under. And so they're angry, and they'd rather vent their spleen and destroy it than anything else. And they're not going to give it to a group that's alive. That's the point.
Father Antonio does ask, what could possibly be wrong with the building that they would feel the need to keep secret? Go ahead, Reader.
I think it's a both and. I think there is something possibly structurally wrong with it, but like our guest was saying, that apparently money was not the goal, because if it was, then I'm pretty sure that they would have taken the offer and accepted the rehabilitation of the building.
Yeah. Gabriel Michael says we used to call that particular region of Northeast Pennsylvania Transylvania. Pretty funny, considering how many Halloween shows they do here. But I estimate the front facade was at least 50 feet wide. Yeah, I think that's fair. I think if we're talking, it was probably, I'm gonna say around. It was probably like I want to say like a 70 by 100 lot. Lot size, including the house.
I mean, it's kind of crazy because if you know anything about construction, like, you really want to get the windows up. So if they took the windows out, I mean, if there was a mold issue
that would exacerbate it faster.
it would expedite the issue. So the underlying thing we're hinting at here, which is greed, is kind of disturbing.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Give me just a moment.
But apparently, they had to take money from a specific group. It's weird.
That would have admitted their defeat. To give it to a group that's alive would have admitted their failure, and they didn't want to do that. They'd rather destroy it. So,
Yeah.
I mean, this spirit is rampant in the whole OCA and then the liberal churches too. I mean, Protestant or Catholic or things like that. They resent being shown up for what they are, so they kill it.
I was never in the OCA. I can only judge it from a distance. But
I think we lost Jonathan. But okay, well,
yeah.
If you want, you're welcome to come back if you want. But
I think he said his piece. He might have been.
Yeah. Yeah, let me see here. What else we got? Columbus Day these days means there's no mail delivery. Yeah, but I was still surprised. I think the fact that they chose a day off to do it was a way of just like doing it under the rug.
It's just shady all around. Let's be honest.
Yeah. All right. Dan says, I think Dan's Reconquista. He has the same icon, but it says Dan. Well, Dan in his last name. And anyway, underground, no, there's no tunnels. There was no tunnels. Yeah, instead they paid for the demolition. Little bit Fish Big Mountain says, Lauren Frade says it'll be interesting to see what happens with the property next. Well, they kept the house. The house is there. So as far as they're concerned, I mean, they can still sell it as a house with a massive yard. So, I mean,
that's really weird.
It is. But I mean,
would the house have the same issue as the cathedral?
No, it does. It's a separate building.
Oh, it's separate. Okay.
Yeah, but it didn't have. As I said, people were walking in that cathedral, 5-6 months ago. It was fine.
That's weird.
It just looked normal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Father Antonio says my question still stands. It does. We have no idea what it is, and if you want my honest opinion, I don't think it was anything. I think that they just really wanted to get rid of it.
Maybe there was a tunnel to a synagogue under it.
Oof. Let me see here. Gabriel Michael says, does anyone know who demolished it? What's the name of the company? I saw a lot of salvageable material in the rubble.
That's a good question.
Yeah, it was a local company. I think if you look in the Citizens Voice article, it says who I think it says who was commissioned to do the demolition. Yeah, Matthew said that's definitely Reconquista. Yeah, it is. Let me see here. Monster Reader says, am I wrong for wanting the Hagia Sophia raised rather than allow it to continue being a Mohammedan haunt? Well, the best thing that would happen is Christians take it back over, but that may be in a while yet. Gabriel Michael asks, when was the last liturgy service held there? Are you talking about Hagia Sophia or are you talking about us? Because this church here. If you're talking about this church here, I believe it was last year. If you're talking about the Hagia Sophia, the last liturgy held there was in 1917. And it was a very strange event where it just so happened that with all the chaos going on at the collapse of the Ottoman Empire, a Greek priest was actually able to walk through the doors, unpack his stuff, and say a divine liturgy there. The people there were so shocked that there was a group of Greek soldiers that had been praying, so they actually escorted the priest out as people suddenly realized what had happened.
Oh, yeah,
and were horrified. Was the church, JG says, was the church demolished a true, genuine Orthodox? No, it was part of the OCA, but it was a true Orthodox.
But it could have been.
To buy it. It could have been, and it would have been a beautiful church, but maybe that's it.
I think that's the point we're trying to make, is it could have been a church.
It could have been saved. It could have been saved. Yeah. So it's such a shame. Take on Fred says, save the wood for icons. There wasn't much wood left. It was mostly stone and steel. And so, yeah. The monster, that's neat history. Never knew that about the Hagia Sophia. Yeah, it is an interesting story. But yeah, hundreds of years after it had fallen as a mosque, priests celebrated liturgy in there.
I thought that was later than the 1970. I thought it was in the 1920.
It might have been 1920.
Okay.
But it was, the point is, it was early 20th century.
I think he was still on the old calendar.
All right.
Just saying.
I hear a baby crying. Give me 1 second, please.
Okay.
I'll be right back. If everyone, just
Talk amongst yourselves.
Yeah, talk amongst yourselves, and I'll be right back.
All right. How's everything in Florida, Father?
I was just getting ready to go to the kitchen, and I realized, it's going to be Reader John as a solo here.
I was on.
So-
I can go solo.
Oh, you can go solo. Well, you can fill the commentary, and the things in Florida, the it's a little cooler. So thank God for that. It's a little more bearable. But I have to get a new air conditioner and a new water heater so that
That's
I
official.
my house is basically under contract, and the other house that I'm buying is under contract with
Mhm.
me. That is so I'm moving forward, but there's some hurdles I got to jump over, according to some of these inspectors and stuff like that, which is all tied up in a interesting package. So,
Yeah.
but anyway, glory to God. I just would ask for people's prayers that the Lord will help the work here move on, and so anyway, and I'm tired. I'm not a spring chicken anymore, but I'm doing what I can by God's grace. And so I just looking forward to what the Lord's going to do, and then I think that everybody here listening, pray for the podcast, Father Joseph's podcast, and pray for him and everyone involved, because the Lord, I think, is using this podcast and doing a lot of good things. People are meeting each other, communication, and developing community over the internet, and hopefully geographically too.
I just keep thinking, wondrous are thy works, O Lord.
Yeah. The people, in the Book of Acts, people were always getting together, talking with one another, and praising the Lord, communicating a lot. And so it is with the church. I really enjoy these times and talking with everybody. It's a refreshment.
Oh yeah.
And so
Especially everyone being all over the country. It's amazing.
That's the downside.
No trailer parks.
Well, I just see the opportunity for more mobile cathedrals popping up all over Florida.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So anyway, so such it is. It's just difficult. Though I tell you, it's like you have to work at it. It's a labor. It's a labor. There's no question about it. And
so when are you gonna get a flatbed truck with a traveling baptismal font?
Well,
you might need it, Mr. or Father. 10 baptisms in a short amount of time.
Well, I've got a trailer actually, but I can hitch it to my car, and it only takes a half an hour to fill it up.
There you go.
Actually, it's one of those water troughs for the cattle that I got at TSC.
I see Father doing a road trip across the nation here.
Yeah, here we go. There you
go.
Well, I pray for unity in the churches too. I'm enjoying some of the GOCK, Father Stephen Allen or Father Methodius Crosscheck and the videos that they're producing.
Oh yeah. Did you watch the last one, that 3-part series one?
I watched the first part.
Oh yeah, you gotta watch all of it. It's great. It's great.
You can refresh my mind. I just watched it, I think, today.
Well, they were I think they were up in some historic cabins, pretty much like camping out. And there's just I guess he was with some, I want to say, they sounded like either teenagers or young adults. And he was just talking with them about all kinds of different things, especially about community and I was very inspired by the inquisitive questions they were asking. I was very, very, very encouraged by the generations coming behind us.
And their choir does excellent harmony.
Oh yes,
They,
it's
they have
beautiful.
a good choir.
I wish Father would put more of that up. Father Methodius, they sound beautiful.
Yeah, yeah. So, and of course, Father Stephen's series on the Orthodox Survival course.
Oh yeah, I've been following that since the beginning. It's very, 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 very helpful.
Yes, it is. I've used some of that material actually on these
His
podcasts. I printed them all out.
Oh yeah, I was about to say you probably have you might have a tome of notes if you print all of them out.
I have a notebook. What I do is I have a notebook and I print it out. I bought a black and white printer and I buy lots of paper and then I get cheap ink, so I'll print stuff out and then punch it and put it in a loose leaf. And that's what I do. And so that's what I did with his course. He's got about 64 or so lectures, and they're about 3 pages a piece. So, so you're looking at 180, 200 page notebook. And anyway, so yeah, and I appreciate him offering, giving me those notes and letting me print them out. So anyway, yeah, but it's lively. These are small churches and they're having their struggles, but it's alive. And I'd rather, and the Pharisees put you out of their congregations. And so therefore, sometimes the priests have to work, a secular job or have their own business and things like that. But it's better to do that than to compromise and play the game and lose your identity and lose your integrity. And so it's better to do that and enjoy your liberty, and a clean conscience is worth it all.
Okay. I'm back.
Is everything okay?
Not
Father?
exactly, but hopefully it'll be fine.
All right.
Anyway.
Boo boo.
Yeah, it's just the baby doesn't want to go to sleep. Obviously not. It's not his house.
Right.
Let me see here in the comments. What are we?
We're behind on the comments.
Yeah, I can see that. Let's see. The Jewish Demolition Company, I don't think so. The white bricks of it, which composed of, are much sought after. Usually scavengers depend on such sites within the hour. Yeah, it's true. Oof, a new AC will run a pretty penny. Yeah, I really wish people would stop saying it's Jewish. It was not Jewish. It was the OCA that did it.
Well, it's the same old
I've
crew.
seen there's I get people wanting to go with the whole, Jew, Antichrist, blah, 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 but at least point the finger where it belongs.
Yeah.
Well, the spirit of Phariseeism is alive in the Protestant and the Catholic churches and in the Orthodox churches. That's what people have to discern these days. It's alive and well in their dead letter, their dead churches. And
I would say that about World Orthodoxy. I don't know if I'd say
well,
that
just because you're in the GSE doesn't make you an automatic saint either.
So I know. I'm not saying that either.
Oh no, I'm not saying that to you, Father. I'm just saying to some of the people in the live chat. I mean, we have to be careful about where we cast our stones, as it were.
Yeah. Just speculation, I know, but with the OCA, there's behind the scenes chicanery. I could tell you stories, they're all true. I believe it. Let me see. John Modeau, the other day I was playing with spaghetti and it went all stiff and what? I don't know what that. Yeah, okay.
Awkward.
Don't make it weird, guy.
Yeah.
Cheryl gives a Godfather. There's gonna be a legal battle going on in an OCA church here in Miami. From what I understand, didn't the OCA win on that one? Like they basically managed to have the council legally removed from the property. Do Matthewites have grace, specifically those who aren't Stephanos ones? I would ask God. I mean, that's kind of a weird question to ask me. I'm not going to declare them without grace. I don't know. They've been through a lot too. This is something that I feel people don't quite understand. I do not automatically say that other True Orthodox. I mean, I understand where they're coming
We're
from.
not Gregory.
Yeah, well, even I'll even give Gregory a bit of leeway if he can repent. But the point is that
Well, I'm just saying
they've been through a lot.
he's quick to throw shade on any other Orthodox jurisdiction.
He is, and that's the thing. He's condemned them all, and they condemned him
Yeah.
back.
And we're the opposite end of the spectrum.
Well, somebody banned John May Do, not funny or all demonic humor. I'm glad someone deleted the comment at best. Yeah, that was gross. So this is awful. Let me see here. Unfortunately, some people are overcorrect with the anti-Semitism. You can be against the Jewish religion, stand for Zionism, etc., but to be anti-racist people is wrong objectively. Gabriel Michael says we need a moderator. This has always been kind of a free exchange of opinions outside of going to going the route of how shall I put it?
Well, I think they're talking more for like the disgusting, very blasphemous comments versus
disgusting and blasphemous comments have to go.
Yeah.
And I thought I removed it, or I thought it was removed. Yeah, I'm looking. There it is. Okay, so I'm gonna just just ban and delete the comment. So
Control Alt Delete. You're gone.
Yeah. But let me see here. Matthew had condemned all of their synods minus Stephanos synod. It's not accurate. Some do, some don't.
There's a spectrum, kind of like there are with the Foreignites.
Yeah, so that's how I see it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, yeah, I'm kind of in the middle of a bunch of things, but once again, I don't know if this. I'd like to, believe we're doing a service for people. Help keep the lights on. Support us by subscribing or donating at NFTU.net with various options like PayPal, Cash App, BTC, LTC, or XMR, or on Give, Send, Go. Just look in the description. I'm going to leave up the old goal I had from Sunday. Currently, the goal is still 215. There's no special timing thing happening today. And so
and you're still hard out at 10:30.
Yeah, I can't. I don't know if you can hear the baby.
Oh, I can hear. That sounds adorable.
Yeah. Well, there's two of them, and
wow.
I need to probably get a couple of things from the store real quick. But I can't. Obviously, I can't. I can't stay past that time because I have other things I have to do as well.
Of course,
all just got dumped on me like maybe an hour ago or an hour and a half ago, and like literally as the show was about to start, and I was like, okay, can't neglect your grandkids,
Yeah.
So anyway, that's again, all this time is cafe time. If you were trying to get registered to Frosinus Cafe every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday when we're on, you can do that. So let's continue. Where are my glasses? I had my glasses. Like, did I have my glasses? I must have left them downstairs.
You're asking the wrong
guy. We can barely hear through the stream, so it's fine for us, Father. I hope you mean you can barely hear the baby and not
the baby. Yeah.
Okay, because if you can't hear the stream because of the baby, then I'm like, oh,
yeah,
I think
it's hard to hear on YouTube, but you can definitely hear on StreamYard.
Yeah, Nick the Goat 70. Monster Reader asks, how did the vehicle fund end up, Father? Well, we took care of the payment, to get the car out. So the car was out late last week. And the debt battle begins. Right now I have this car goal set now at 2,500 left. We were able to raise about 900, but I did have to dip into that. I had to spend 100 or 200 because there's bills. And I forgot all about the bills because I was so worried about the car. So yeah, my goal right now is probably 200 more in the next week or in the next few episodes, maybe 300. I've got to start being serious about like numbers here because the numbers are getting bigger and bigger and crazier. So anything you can do to help. Okay, I sent it to yes, the baby. Nick the Goat says, "Are there any canons or traditions that specify what we can or cannot eat, or what dictates what food is or what is not?" Yeah, we have like there's no eating of blood.
No.
And so
Nothing
that's
offered up to
huh?
idols. Nothing offered
Yeah,
to idols
no,
still.
yeah. And so, but outside of that, like shellfish and pork, those are all allowed. Shellfish can be eaten during fasts. Um, Pork, obviously, I am a very hardcore pro pork person, because we live in a time where we're seeing, especially with the increase in Muslim populations, trying to force pork to not be slaughtered, etc. No,
I'm pro bacon.
I'm very pro bacon, and that's the way we're gonna keep it. And
The cut, please.
I know that like certain like monophysites, like the Ethiopians, don't eat pork. Well, that's their
Really?
problem.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Well, I think it's only some, but yeah,
Huh.
they actually.
Oh, bless their
But yeah,
hearts.
Monster Reader says bacon and sausage are the best. Call not unclean, which the Lord made clean. Absolutely, and that's the attitude that we have. Yeah. I gotta get formula for the baby.
Okay.
Hold on.
Well, just let us know if you need to get off early, Father.
I will. Let me just take a look. Hold on.
Somebody said I'm hungry.
Yeah. Well, and they only had one bottle, so
Oh,
I'm
well.
thinking I may have to get the another one. Oh wow. Okay, this is nice. I just got an advance image of the new what's it called, book from
OTP.
OTP. Yeah, I don't know if you saw this, but I'm gonna try to save this. And
Oh, you're going to make me jealous.
well, it's just
I'm gonna have to do
the image.
confession.
Well, this is gonna be for the upcoming book, The Service to the Four Hierarchs of the Russian Church Abroad.
All right.
So I think that's gonna be you know, here Jacob Clemens asks, is Hockman heresy as of 2025? Unless they have specifically and completely rejected the use of Yugoslavia, gone back to saying that the excommunication done by the Russian Church is legitimate, then no, I would say that they're still in heresy. They haven't changed; they're just justifying what they did.
Yeah, there's no
Um,
repentance, just
yeah,
justification. Yeah.
you know, and that's my point. You can't say things like you can have post-death redemption, and then just walk it off and say, "Oh well, we didn't mean it that way." Well, you meant it some way, so you're going to have to address it. And if you don't, people will keep leaving.
Yep.
So yeah, image was released. Yes, it was. Yes, it was Orthodox Traditionalist Publications. I just put that out up there, and so that's great. But let me see here.
I can't wait to see that service.
Yeah, it's gonna. I'm looking forward to it as well. Let's see here. Kolbasa, Gabriel Michael says, always good stuff. Matthew says, I wish I could buy bacon without eating the whole pack. Well, if you get the ones that have that resealable thing, then what you can do is you can take out half the bacon and then seal it and put it back in the fridge.
I couldn't do that. I have to eat all of it.
Jacob Clemens says their icons are still objectively the best in North America. Well, they're all, a lot of them were good and historical ones, and were done by many famous people, including, if I remember correctly, some were done by Gregory of Colorado. So you know, like I mean, it depends on how you say objectively the best. And I think, you know, first off, you're getting mounted prints, so mounted prints are not objectively better than painted icons, for example. But in any case, you know, they're still, you know, they're good. I'm not going to say they're not. Yeah, let me see here. Nick the Goat says, I was taught not to eat pork by my father's traditions, perhaps. I don't know, but I'm now questioning it because I see there's no canons in the church condemning it. I'm in the GOCK. No, there are no prohibitions on pork in the GOCK
I've never
or
seen
in
that.
any True Orthodox jurisdiction. Yeah.
The only thing I've seen is just abstinence from certain foods during certain times of year, aka fast.
Yeah, fast seasons. Now, during the
Yeah,
fasting periods, you obviously can't eat bacon. You can't eat any meat.
yeah. But that's
Oh
the only
boy.
thing I've seen. I haven't seen anything specific to a specific group of foods.
Yeah, that's true. Let me see. Yeah, I mean, source doesn't matter who's making them; they're all good. Even new calendars, use or icons, that's fine. But now the difference is, do
Mm.
they make good quality products? And are they heretics? Are two very different questions. There's there's well made icons, throughout a number of different places. So, yeah, 26 pages, short, very nice. Go ahead, Reader John.
Isn't there slight differences between the Western Rite
Yeah,
on
there is.
fasting?
They're pretty slight. I know that in the Western Rite, generally on abstinence days, fish is allowed.
Okay,
That's the main difference.
and that's all
And
fast.
then, huh?
Is that on all the fast?
Yeah.
Okay.
The detail, the level of detail that the general Orthodox fasting rite has, some of it develops because of imperial edicts,
Uh-huh.
etc., that the West were never subject to. So,
Uh,
in fact, but both fasts were actually stricter. So,
yeah.
all of these things we think of as like modifications or loosings. For example, like in the Western Rite, it's very common that the fast part is kept strictly, so there's no eating except water
Hmm.
until like 5 to 7 p.m.
Wasn't it shorter
Um,
fast though, even though they were stricter, or
no,
was it the
they
same
weren't.
time?
No, it's the same length.
Okay.
Same
Okay.
length.
Oh wow. Okay.
The other big thing was that before, remember, the fish was a concession that was done in the
Hmm.
West because in Spain, I believe in the 8th and 9th century, they were saying
Yeah.
that they couldn't survive without it.
Yeah, I remember
So
that.
that's why fish was allowed generally.
And what in
Um,
their version of bread was like a very nutty kind of loaf. I remember reading
yeah,
it. Um,
well, breads I think were closer to like probably what we would call sprouted grain bread now, just
yeah, yeah,
because
yeah,
of the difficulty of milling flour.
yeah.
So that's let's see. If it's oh, if it's an issue for someone, just ask your spiritual father to bless them on the altar. Pretty simple fix. I mean, it's not no one is saying that an icon from HTM is a problem, but this didn't start with the question of you didn't start with does HTM make good products? You started with is HTM in heresy as of 2025. Now,
Yeah.
you're by making the argument about icons, it's a red herring. Like it implies that our issue was with their icons or anything like that. No, our issue was with
The,
Inieslavie
yeah,
and
the icons don't declare name worship. So
yeah, and the
it's the
icons don't
people.
declare. Yeah, exactly. So that's the real issue for Hockman is that they have to, if they want to reintegrate it all with the rest of true Orthodoxy, they have to drop the Inieslavie, drop their defenses of it, and drop their
Mhm.
defenses of the whole post-death salvation thing that
Yeah,
came with Awake
the
Sleeper.
soul sleep. Yeah, are they so?
Until they
They've
do that,
been
it doesn't
soul
matter
sleep,
how
right?
nice they are. Well, no, what it is Awake Sleeper is actually almost the opposite of Soul Sleep.
Oh,
And what I
okay,
mean by
okay.
that is because Soul Sleep, is just
Oh,
the
yeah, that's
person who's
the other guy on up north. What's his name? The
right.
defrocked deacon.
Yeah, Lazar Pahalo
Yeah, that guy.
was yeah, he's an interesting character. But yeah, he was big on Soul Sleep and he was big on denying toll houses. But
Hmm.
on the other end of this is the awake sleeper controversy, because what that is that means that God can give people a second chance at salvation after their death, which would destroy the entire point of the gospel.
Yeah, what
Um,
is repentance?
so that's the problem.
Yeah,
Um,
maybe that's why they have trouble with repentance.
okay. Okay, Jacob says it's not a red herring because I purposely changed the subject when you said they are in heresy. Okay, okay then. Okay, I wasn't sure. I thought you were justifying their heresy by changing the subject. Is St. Photius Orthodox Theological Seminary the only genuine Orthodox seminary in America? It's sad how few Eastern Orthodox seminaries in general there are in America. There is another one run by Rokana, but from what I understand, it's mostly an online college.
Yeah.
So that one and St. Photius, I mean, that's still way more than we had 20 years ago. So
Yeah.
I
St.
like to think of
Photius.
these as,
St. Photius is real high quality.
yeah, it's a really good school. So,
Yeah.
but let me see here. I assume that's not intentionally desecrating or something. Yeah, I may be a bit more in depth. Would me not eating pork become an issue? Yeah, yeah. I mean, I not to me personally. Well, okay, no, to me personally, yes. And not to. I don't know how your spiritual father will feel. But I can feel like he will probably wonder why you're abstaining
Yeah,
from pork.
I think the intent behind it would be looked at by your spiritual father.
Mm-hmm. And that's the big problem that a lot of people have. They don't realize why they do things, and when they do realize them, and they realize maybe the church is going to say no,
Yeah.
Instead of wondering whether the church is going to say no,
Just
you
ask.
should ask yourself also, not just ask the priest, but ask yourself, why do I have to do this? Why do I have to not eat pork?
Yeah.
Because then you'll discover the real reason. What I have found, and this has been increasingly strange to me, is that I see urban social circles where people just talk about not eating pork because you shouldn't. They don't want to say it's because I want to get along with my Muslim friends or my Muslim bosses who pay me money. But that's what they mean. And
Wow.
so I just respond with, I freaking love pork.
You need to move out to the boonies, Father. We love pork.
Exactly. I'm gonna fight in the cities for the right to eat bacon.
Yeah. Nothing better than farm fresh. I'm just saying.
Okay, Little Fish Big Mountain says also asks further questions to Jacob, leading him further down another subject. That's fair. It's
You guys are always welcome to come on here if you want, instead of staying in the chat, going back and forth.
Yeah. Gabriel Michael says Bohalo is a strange name to me. It means scarecrow in my grandparents' rustic Rusin dialect. Yeah, I believe he's Serbian, but I have a feeling it probably means something similar. St. Photius is super nice. Plus, their YouTube channel is awesome. Yes.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Like the lectures.
Yeah. Spots has regional accreditation, which is important. I mean, I am starting to think the entire accreditation thing is another house of cards waiting to happen.
Yeah.
Plus, no disagreement here. I've been thinking Hawkins and heresy. Sorry for confusion. No worries, Jacob. Okay, so yeah. Let's see here. Yeah, it's been a quite a crazy couple of days. Not to mention adding on Friday, as we talked about, on Sunday's show, the fact that the state of Bulgaria and with basically at the behest of the Bulgarian new calendarists, has basically acquired the right to liquidate True Orthodox properties. That's terrifying. I don't know how I feel like that shouldn't be possible in 2025, but here we are. But it's that's a huge problem.
It must be taken out of a 100-year-old playbook from Greece.
Yeah. Wow. Just it's crazy. So that's whenever you think it's bad, just remember it could always be the state trying to take away your building.
Yeah, it's true.
But that's
or not wanting to sell to.
But also, it's important to remember. In Jacobs, in what world is that legal? It is legal in Bulgaria. It used to be legal in Russia, and it's to some degree legal in Greece. They're all trying very hard to take other people's stuff, and it's becoming
Estonia, Moldova. It's getting bad everywhere.
Right, but the thing is, it's becoming increasingly obvious, and it's also becoming what they are now. Ascendancy says liquidate in what sense? All I've seen in this is that their legal status was revoked, so they are in the same scenario legally as the GOC in the 1970s. And if you know anything about the GOC in the 1970s, people were being arrested, beaten, mistreated. Their churches like were limited in how they could be opened or closed. So yeah, the GOC in the 1970s was in a nightmare. Just to give you that idea, they were in bad
still
shape.
shaving beards then, right?
Yeah, they were still shaving the priests of True Orthodox beard. They were shaving the beards of True Orthodox priests, like the cops were doing this.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was, you know, I mean, sure, one could argue, well, at least you weren't killing them. I mean, sure, that's
that's not a far step at this point.
Yeah, and so yeah, this is what it means, what it sounds like, which is they want to destroy the True Orthodox of Bulgaria,
one way or another.
Yeah. So when people say, "Oh, well, the True Orthodox aren't persecuted," but point to Bulgaria, because they are in Bulgaria. They are in a lesser sense in Greece and Russia, but they still are, because they still have difficulties with registering churches, so on and so forth. So trust me, Orthodox traditionalists, I guess, is quoting from the service, first hierarch Father Anthony in exile, that it's received boldness, that it's hastened to preserve the Russian church, and did not give her over into the hands of the Sergians. Then let me see here. Little Fish Big Mountain says, we know the spirit at work in the sons of disobedience. Lord have mercy. This is a spiritual problem. Yes, it absolutely is. So, you know, we actually, I guess because I think people were busy, you know, and of course we're still trying to do things. But we are in the last 5 minutes before 10:30, so I am just gonna we'll call it a night. This was a wash. Things went weird, and so
losing.
Yeah, well, we tried, but you know, couldn't do yeah.
Tuesdays are rough.
Yep. Well, we actually, our best day was a Tuesday, last Tuesday.
Well, no, I'm just saying in life.
The Tuesdays are always harsh.
Yeah.
I wasn't aware that was Senesi says I wasn't aware that was still in the 70s. I wasn't aware of priests being beaten and such. I thought that calmed down, but I knew they couldn't be a legal status recognized as an organization. Correct, until 1982 with the Mars Hill reading. Monster Reader says, have a good evening, everyone. Thank you for that, and you have a good evening as well. I was reading a GOC Makarios book on how the GOC was pretty well respected in Greece in the 70s and doing pretty well. Well, doing well and being respected and being persecuted are not they're not actually on opposite ends of the spectrum. One can have that and still be persecuted by the state. So yeah, the book isn't wrong. But you know, they're being respected by the people. Like everyone respects us. Like not everyone, but most people respect Esphigmeno in Greece. What?
It's like the early church, Father. I mean, you can still be persecuted and still thrive. You know.
Yeah. Little Fish Big Mountain asks, Father, Father Boniface, did your surgery go well? I haven't been able to catch every live stream, so I may have missed updates.
Oh wow.
Well, I'm feeling a lot better than I used to. That's for sure.
Well, thank God.
Yeah. So I'm actually able to do work now, you know, which I've been doing a lot of. So yeah, praise God. It went well. It's not perfect, you know. I mean, I'm 70 years old, so I get other issues too. It's just effective old age. But I thank God that I am on my feet and doing a lot more, and pray for just many more days and loving serving the Lord and loving and being in orthodoxy and so yeah, thank you for that thought there and your question, and thank you for your prayers.
All right, Jacob says I must retire to my Florida basement. What's funny is
Florida basement.
Yeah, you know, it's funny because even though that's another reason the Dyer reference is funny, because he said 5 people in a basement in Florida. Most Florida houses don't have basements.
That's what I was thinking. I was
like, they're pretty wet.
Yeah,
that's under the trailer.
If there's a good rain, you're going to be swimming.
Yep. Little Fish Big Mountain says glory to God. JG7923 says thanks for doing what you do, Father Joseph. No problem. I wouldn't have it any other way. Again, hopefully things will be a little bit better and a little bit smarter on Thursday as we continue to fine tune and learn new things. Let me see if scroll up to the top and see if there were hidden, because of the way they were organized with Twitter. No, there were no other Twitter comments. Okay, or X comments. I will respect the owner. It's X, not Twitter. Okay, so with that, I'm just gonna close out and yeah, I guess we got 2 minutes. So let me close out now.
Father,
I'm just gonna say
Father, remind me when that debate is again.
Yes, the debate is November 7th. Let me put that on the screen. We are debating the papacy with Elijah Yassi. Give me one moment. And we are going to be debating on the Gospel Truth channel. And so that is going to be November 7th. So we've got got like 20 something days. Yeah, 7
All gloves are off on this
24
debate.
days. Yeah. Huh?
All gloves are off on this debate.
That's correct. November 7th. It is going to be a moderated debate on the Gospel Truth, but it is going to be interesting. So yeah, that's good that you reminded me for that. Let me take that off the screen. And what I will say is just thank you to everyone, to Father Boniface and Reader John, who are always here and helpful. It's really appreciated from both of you. Couldn't do it without you. To our listeners, to people who called in, like today, Jonathan Hill called in. Thank you to him. To those who had questions and had comments, someone else was here earlier too. Trying to think. Was someone else here earlier? Or was
I think it was
just
just Jonathan.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks to everyone who calls in or even has questions, comments, etc. Support our channel. We at NFTU need your help. So if you support us by subscribing or donating at NFTU.net, where you can support via PayPal, Cash App, various forms, the top forms of the crypto, and on Give Send Go. Support us by subscribing or donating at NFTU.net or on Give Send Go. We remember all of you in our prayers and thank you for all the support for NFTU. And as always, don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. All right, and thank you. Have a great night, everyone. Through the prayers of Holy Father, so Jesus Christ, our God, have mercy on us and save us.
Amen.
Amen.